Good morning, Lisa Jane here. I'm going to draw you a map of an outdated relational structure. If you can imagine, let's start with, say, the adult self here. And the adult is looking out through its eyes. However, often in relationship, it looks out through the eyes of the wounded child. And so when it's activated, because that's often what happens, when I'm looking out in my relationship at the other person or what's happening, I have a feeling, and that feeling activates this perception, this wounded child perception. Now, what that means is, first of all, I have a low capacity to hold emotional tension. So if there's any differences, it's very hard for me to stay solid and coherent when I'm actually feeling so completely dysregulated inside, because this is what's being activated. I'm looking out through that. So I'm noticing my capacity is very low to sort of sit and feel okay about myself. This is actually a variable that we can improve. It's quite simple. This also means that we focus on the outcome or the relationship. So we have an attachment to holding the relationship together. It's almost like, and this is for perceived safety, right? We feel like we have to keep the form in place for this perceived safety rather than actually being in the process. Now, what happens if we're not in a process of growth? If we're not emerging in this process, is that we're always in the future thinking about this form, and we're actually never here right now, feeling what we need to feel and being open to the solution that's arising in this moment. Again, that's another variable that we can get very, very good at. We also look externally for a solution. And this is sort of might feel to you like, the feeling is a little bit like waiting for a parent to resolve. I know for me it was definitely like that. Waiting for them to show up, waiting for them to come and fix me, waiting for them to come and make things right. But what happens is, when that doesn't happen, which it really does happen actually as an adult, is we can blame, we can get resentful, and we definitely feel powerless, which of course then leads to, it erodes intimacy, doesn't it? Also means there's no emotional safety, because in that moment, when I'm feeling all these things, how can there be emotional safety for the other person or even for me? And of course, all of this leads to disconnection. So you can imagine over time in a relationship, if we haven't addressed these things, and if when we're constantly activated emotionally, we are looking through the eyes of the wounded child, we're going to end up here. And over time, we're going to completely forget how much we love that person. We're going to completely forget who they are, their presence, and instead we're going to see this person that doesn't show up for us, and we're going to have a whole lot of feelings around that. So the other thing that this does, because it keeps getting better, right? This is the structure of most relationships now, on and off, not all the time, but you'll probably recognize some of this in your relationship now. We also have little capacity to fully own our painful feelings. And this is important. And I guess it sort of has something to do with that low emotional tension capacity as well. But being able to ask, what is my part in it? We can't see a greater picture because we're looking out through a child's eyes. So our perspective is very small. And this also means that we miss the opportunity for growth and empowerment that happens in this moment because we're so busy trying to fix it and keep the relationship together. So we're completely missing this opportunity for inner growth and personal empowerment because of that dysregulation emotionally. Again, this is what I help people to resolve. It's a variable. If we look at it as part of a structural foundation, we can absolutely change that. So we find that our thinking is preoccupied. And I have so many clients that come and say they can't stop thinking. Their mind just goes off, and all night they're kept awake thinking about the situation. How can I fix this? How can I change it or resolve it? Like, these questions just burn in our mind, because the job of the mind is to resolve. And when things aren't resolved, we feel like we have to actually do something, but it's the feeling that needs to be resolved, not the actual action at first. So all of this, we can just do what we always did as a child and withdraw. We can shut down. We can avoid. We can attack. These common, if you find yourself in these common patterns, it's because all of this is going on in the structure of our relationship and we don't even realize. So lastly, what this means is that we can't or won't share fully. We hold back how we feel. We're often not fully honest because of the perceived risk. And the perceived risk is to the relationship. And like a child, I don't want to hurt them. So we're over-responsible for their emotions. And we people please. So pretty much that is the outdated relational structure. Clearly, there is a much more functional and sustaining and satisfying relational structure that we can now start to implement, just changing a number of variables one at a time, little bit by little bit. And if you're interested in working with me on that, please reach out. You can email me. You can book in for a short information call. I offer a 15 to 20 minute chat just to let you know how I work. Either way, this is a really great thing to look at, because often a lot of this is going on just below the level of your conscious awareness. So I hope that added some clarity to your life today. Sending you love.